The honorable judges, lecturers, dearest friend, and brother and sister, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I'd like to thank to the Almighty God. It is because of Him we're still able to connect together and attend this contest during the hardest of times. Secondly, may salawat and salam always be delivered toward our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has brought us from the darkness to the bright modern era that we live in today. And last but not least, I'd like to thank to all you LCC committee who's been great platforms and organizations to provide a speech for the youth. Good afternoon and have a good time, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jaenal Abidin and I'm an English Education Department student at University of Singaperbangsa, Karawang. And in this opportunity, I'd like to deliver my speech about millennials with creative actions while pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, world is facing one of the most difficult times in century. The new coronavirus is upending life as we knew it, and more than a half of world's populations are now orders to stay at home to curb the movement of coronavirus. This measure is very cheering and it's very heartbreaking, especially at the social fabric of the society, because it's disrupting many economies, resulting in massive losses and raising the specters of worldwide hunger. This fact made us quite stressful, and especially for those of them who are already dealing with health mental issue. And that is the case for many millennials out there. Why can I say that? As we know, depressions and doping are already on the rise among millennials. And that's even happened before the pandemic happened, because they're always dealing with loneliness, money crisis, and burnout in the workplace. But after all, I'd like to remind you one thing. Just because we cannot physically together, it doesn't mean we cannot emotionally and mentally together. I mean, it's all about staying connected, which I think it's pretty easy because in today's era, we have one of the most greatest tools that we have ever had. So what's that tool? That is technology. I mean, technology is like everything and it's very impactful, and especially for all millennials, because they all very familiar with it and they all have mastered it. And by that fact, it gives them a better equipment during the COVID-19. For me, as the oldest of the generation with well-provided technology sources, I think millennials are leading the world's social distancing effort, because we have to improvise ourselves to make this new normal anything but ordinary. Or in other words, we, as country's generation, we must use these dark days to create some bright ideas to help our world during the COVID-19. I have some examples to convince you why millennials could actually help the society and demand creative actions while pandemics. So a few weeks ago, an Indian millennial named Harshit Singh, he got online to find out about research and treatments in order to give contributions to help the world during the COVID-19. So he signed up for Folding at Home. It's a computing project by a consortium of 12 laboratories to study about different molecular structures of disease. And its current focus is COVID-19. And so what's the matter of Folding at Home? So Folding at Home helped all the researchers to provide a large number of machines, which will help them to visualize different protein structures and how they react with different agents. So by signing up, Singh allowed the platforms to use his laptop when he's not working on it. So from Singh, I was given the hope that I can actually be putting on my laptop in the good news during the COVID-19. And not only Singh, another Indian millennial named Sangeeta and her husband Sankar, they launched an online donation campaign to buy ventilators and 1,000 personal protective equipment for the medical health at St. National Academy in Bengaluru. So at the beginning, their fundraising goal was only 5 lakhs. But in just 3 weeks, they raised more than 20 lakhs. So what's the point of the story? So what I can notice in this time, I learned many things from these millennials. I'm amazed and reminded kindness always exists in whatever situation we are. And I truly believe that being creative to serve during the COVID-19 is the act of extending love and kindness to others unconditionally, especially for those of them who are more unfortunate during this time. But again, I'd like to remind you that being creative to serve doesn't necessarily mean that we need to have a lot of money. It doesn't mean we need to be rich. But as millennial who is given a good opportunity with all facility and all technology that has been provided, we can use our platforms, we can use our creative minds to gather up the people and our communities to do something special. As millennials, we should have a high determinations and strong action in any kind of situations because we are the future leader of our world. Just put the mindset that we are an important role and we can actually do much more to prevent the global crisis during the COVID-19. Now is the time to support one another. We deserve praise for our resiliency in the face of adversity and for innovations in these situations. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all my speech about millennials with creative actions for pandemic. But before I close this speech, I'd like to mention one of my favorite quotes from Michelle Obama. She once said that, "You may not always have a comfortable life, and you will not always be able to solve the world's problem all at once. But do not underestimate the impact that you can have, because history has shown us that courage can be contagious and hope can take on a life of its own." Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.